Registered Phenomena Code 571. Object Class Gamma Yellow. Hazard Types: Grouped, Emotional, Ideological, Info Hazard. Containment Protocol. Due to the unpredictable emergence of RPC-571 and the covert nature of RPC-571-1 instances, proactive containment is unfeasible. RPC-571-1 instances perceive this metaphorical entity as the embodiment of their shared beliefs. In the event that an RPC-571-1 instance is encountered, whether in the field or during protocol, staff are instructed to immediately recite the following affirmations. Your life has meaning. Harmony is a simple truth. Ignorance is weakness. You will die. You are not to be ridiculed or pitied. Pain is real. Reject the disfigurer. Be not afraid. Notice: by all means, there is no reason for RPC-571 to be registered as an anomaly. It's just a series of coincidences and happenstance. You can't just call something like Kantianism or communism an anomaly, can you? Until further investigation proves there is an actual, tangible entity or phenomenon behind RPC-571, its registration as a phenomenon code is pending. I believe in the existence of magic and of God. The many anomalies we have to deal with more than prove their existence, but this is beyond absurd. Do you really believe in a God of Flayed Clowns? Dr. Nikolai Mayakovsky. Description: RPC-571 is a memetic philosophical theory that revolves around the examples of an archetypal deity, typically known as the God of Flayed Clowns. RPC-571-1 perceives this metaphorical entity as the embodiment of their shared beliefs. This worship manifests as an absurdist worldview centered on both physical and emotional masochism. Affected individuals, hereafter referred to as RPC-571-1, often engage in self-harming rituals to bring change in the world around them. RPC-571 manifests predominantly through the logical deduction of the nature of humanity and suffering. This phenomenon occurs randomly, whereby any human may become an instance of RPC-571-1 upon arriving at a philosophical conclusion about the nature of reality that aligns with RPC-571's intellectual framework. RPC-571's philosophy, Flagellatism, is inherently nonsensical and contradictory. Its principles can only be fully understood by RPC-571-1 instances. Despite the variation in beliefs regarding the practice of flagellatism across recorded RPC-571 cultures, 8 core tenets are universally observed. Covet no purpose. Individuality is a paradox. Wisdom is your enemy. Death is absurd. It is foolish to infer it. Subject yourself to mockery and sympathy. Smile and laugh, in spite of your pain. Honor that which has disfigured you. Do not look directly at the face of God. These 8 tenets are further explored in the text, The Flagellation Pathway, by Joseph Grimaldi in 1830, when the first major cult of the God of Flayed Clowns was established in England and Italy. Joseph Grimaldi, December 18, 1978 to May 31, 1837, was an English actor, comedian, and dancer who became the most popular English entertainer in the Regency era. It is theorized Grimaldi had ties to the Freemasons, implicating him to the various nihil cults. His primary objective was to raise awareness of the existence of clowns. RPC-571-1 instances that adhere to the prescribed tenets for an extended duration experience a gradual onset of permanent mental disorders. Notably, pseudobulbal affect, PBA, sexual masochism disorder, SMD, and catatonic schizophrenia. pathological laughter and crying. Alongside these psychological changes, physiological mutations also manifest. The tendons of RPC-571-1 tend to increase in elasticity, enabling them to voluntarily dislocate and relocate their joints. Their cervical spine also transforms into a cancellous bone structure, causing them to tilt and rest their heads at unusual angles for comfort. Higher sequence RPC-571-1 instances exhibit advanced spiritual intuition concerning the mental states of nearby human subjects and the nature of the info plane, often described in RPC-571 text as the spiritual world of forms. This level of spiritual insight is comparable to that of a mystic or advanced thaumaturge, and may occasionally result in extremely minor reality-bending phenomena. RPC-571 extends into a thaumaturgic art focused on illusions and superhuman athleticism, a discipline closely guarded by high-sequence RPC-571-1 priests. A common trait amongst cultists is the use of masks to change their identity, along with a cultural affinity for music and theater. As both a philosophical framework and an aesthetic sensibility, RPC-571 predates the modern concept of the clown, and may have existed as far back as the early 16th century. The core tenets of Flagellatism have remained unchanged throughout this time. Addendum 571.A Incidence Report. On April 22, 1979, during a Harlequinade circus performance, the clown, Klein, took the stage dressed only in his underwear and holding a dagger. He commenced singing Vesti la Juba while flaying himself with a knife while expressing visible emotional distress. Rather than expressing concern, the audience responded with derisive laughter, exacerbating the situation as they threw food at the bleeding clown. Post-performance, the audience got out of their seats and trampled on his body. Authorities were notified and arrived 4 hours later to recover his disfigured body. On September 19, 1982, a rogue Harlequinade orchestrated the performance of a waltz orchestra at the theater, employing an auditory memetic agent designed to indoctrinate the audience into RPC-571. In response, Agent Dunn Hall was promptly dispatched to address the situation. Without explicit orders, Agent Hall discharged his firearm in synchronization with the 3/4 time signature of the ongoing performance. This action led to the systematic termination of all 70 orchestra members by the time the symphony concluded. The audience initially reacted with laughter and applause, followed by a collective loss of consciousness. When interrogated for disciplinary purposes, Agent Hall claimed he had no recollection of the incident, maintaining that he was asleep during the entire performance. No new instances of RPC-571-1 emerged as a result of the incident. No new instances of RPC-571-1 emerged as a result of the incident. However, all 70 members of the orchestra perished from the intervention. On February 13, 2004, Professor Leonard conducted a philosophy class at Oxford University. Witnesses report that he spent the entire session discussing the ancient history of clowns, while simultaneously applying clown makeup to himself, eventually encouraging his students to do the same. The students declined his request. The following week, Professor was found deceased in his apartment, with his skin entirely removed. Upon learning of his death, 3 students, considered among the professor's top students, began laughing uncontrollably until they passed out. After graduating, the aforementioned 3 students pursued a career as street performers, specializing in clown acts. Addendum 571.B Historical Record. The archetype of the flayed clown has existed since ancient Mesopotamia, the depictions and renditions of it going through a cultural evolution, as the contemporary collective unconsciousness changes with time. Despite being closely associated with nihil cults, their spiritual theology goes against the conventional Gnostic teachings of the ancient and medieval nihil religions. Before the introduction of the major Abrahamic faiths in Western Europe, the main opponent against Platonistic philosophy was an early form of Flagellatism, initialized by Aristotle in 4th century BC, and the Hermetic in BC. The earliest insertion of the jester comes from the Harlequin archetype of the Italian Commedia dell'arte in the 16th century. The role of the character was to be a mischievous servant who outsmarted his opponents using his wit and supernatural powers, bringing elements of drama and comedy to the stage. According to historian Pileski in his essay, The Art of Commedia, a study in the Commedia dell'arte, 1560–1620, the character and appearance of the Harlequin were likely inspired by visions of a deformed human induced by psychedelics and depictions of demonic entities. Early adopters of the Commedia were said to have later mortified their own flesh as penance for creating the art. Flagellation is a common practice among sperbic Christians. It is a mortification of the flesh by whipping their skin with various instruments of penance to repent of sins and share in the Passion of Christ. Many portrayals of the character attribute to Harlequin's supernatural powers to demonic origins. Early stories link the figure to ancient pagan nature spirits, such as the Wildmen, or the psychopunks reminiscent of Pluto or Hades. Also known as the Woodwos, they are giant emissaries of nature, linked with the ancient European pantheons. It is arguable the archetype of the Wild Man goes as far back as the Epic of Gilgamesh in ancient Mesopotamia. Since the invention of the Harlequin, the archetype of the witty fool will be associated in some way to violence, either to the self or to others. The archetype of the modern clown was soon realized by Joseph Grimaldi, who turned clownery into an art form. Using his Freemasonic ties, many of his performances were often imbued with biblical themes or symbolically Gnostic rituals. Grimaldi's modern clown is heavily influenced by the Rakshasa of Hindu myth and religion, a race of malevolent warriors and magicians that eat humans and interfere with Vedic sacrifices. Many of them have physical forms. Many of his performances mimic the physical postures, asanas, and breathing techniques, pranayama, of the Rakshasa, as well as the race's general aesthetics. Censored accounts of derivative clown theater performances mention the use of skinned men, decorated in body paint reminiscent of the Harlequin. Whether or not the performers were skinned is debated. The 19th century witnessed a significant shift towards the development of various philosophical theories and frameworks. The intelligentsias in Austria and Russia were particularly notable for formulating new political ideologies rooted in nihilism, while in the West, New Age spirituality began to take form as the West would intermingle with Eastern cultural ideas. The emergent theories of this time were often inspired by Renaissance occult concepts, such as Flagellatism. Adopters of RPC-571 after Grimaldi would add to the concept of the clown by incorporating diverse cultural elements from around the world, in an effort to trace the true origin of the flayed clown archetype. Malevolent clown-like entities are documented across various cultures, including those in Africa, Asia, and the Americas. Nihil scholars hypothesize that these manifestations represent a form of ancestral worship directed toward an ancient race of giant beings characterized by pale skin and red hair, bearing a resemblance to the modern clown. Thought to be the biblical Nephilim mentioned in Genesis 6:4, though most modern scholars point to this creature to being a subconscious idealization of the concept of the flagellist instead. Addendum. RPC-571.C, Site 070. From 2007 to 2014, the management and confinement of RPC-571 was temporarily taken over by Site 070 and Site. The head researchers of Site 070 follow a branch of the cult of the God of Flayed Clowns, called the Decoded. Interview Log 571. Point: May 6, 2009. Interviewed: RPC-571-1-22. Dr. Nikolai Mayakovsky. Interviewer: Dr. Isaac Clarke. Forward: Dr. Nikolai Mayakovsky is the head researcher of Site 070 and is a devout believer of RPC-571. Begin Log: May 6, 2009, 12:50. Dr. Clarke: Is it necessary to bring all your props here, Dr. Mayakovsky? RPC-571-1-22. Dr. Mayakovsky begins juggling 4 balls. It helps me think better. You know how it is, what the influence of the devil of Site 070 has on your mind. And doing all of this, Dr. Clarke's face gets squirted by water from Dr. Mayakovsky's prop flower. You think all these props work? It helps the influence of RPC-571 grow in me, at least for now. That's the part of me you want to talk to, isn't it, Doctor? Not Dr. Mayakovsky, but RPC-571-1-22? I hope all these rituals are doing what you claim they're doing, Dr. Dr. Clarke sneezes, as a bubble pops in front of him. Dr. Mayakovsky. It does. So, how did you come to believe in RPC-571? Just like everyone else. If you think about something hard enough, your thoughts will go through a series of dominoes that would eventually reach the same conclusion. That, of course, being the Flayed Clown. So you weren't converted. This isn't a type of faith where you can simply be converted. Though many clowns have tried and failed. No, you have to have a special level of intelligence, or profound mental retardation, in order to become RPC-571-1. It's like, Dr. Mayakovsky snaps his fingers, trying to remember. The priesthood of all believers. I can't even convert you to RPC-571, even if I tried, Doctor. How did you come to that conclusion? Oh, how did I come to this conclusion? That's an info hazard, you know? Still, it's the same old story. When died, I was at the brink of losing it all. I wondered why, the universe. Why God was so cruel to me. Me, in particular. In that dark pit, I stopped myself from succumbing to despair, and I began to think, why do we suffer? Why do we even have feelings? And ways to physically express those feelings to others. I won't get into details. I hope you understand, Doctor. The cosmos was cruel, and that was funny in a weird way. Say, what does that mean? What is funny? We find unexpected things funny, but sometimes the unexpected can be wholly tragic. Oh, the mix of pain and joy came over to me all at once, and my mind was defiled by my own hands beyond repair. But you know what? At least we're not like those sun-worshipping savages. Yes! We, the clowns, are forever slaves to humanity. How do you like the sound of that? We want to help humanity reach higher grounds. We're on the same team. Yes, Dr. Mayakovsky. We're both in the research division of the Authority. No, not like that, Doctor. I'm talking about our ideals. Take it from a clown who knows a fake face when he sees one. You scowl at your own co-workers, and you hide your deep-seated hatred for the higher-ups of the Authority. You claim to be a part of it, but you're just… Dr. Mayakovsky makes a gesture to emphasize his words. This close to breaking loose and… This isn't relevant to the interview. Dr. Mayakovsky. Oh, but it is! Become a subject of mockery and sympathy. Smile and laugh, despite your pain. Honor that which has disfigured you. I say, just a few more steps, and your lips will be painted red in a ridiculous smile. I see. So you read Joseph Grimaldi's text on the Flagellatism? Grimaldi didn't invent Flagellatism. We go far further back. We've been a thing for a long time now. I say, the Flayed Clown was there puppeting the strings of the entertainment industry since its inception. No, not just the Commedia, even earlier, Greek theaters, those comedy masks that depict that absurd smile, and even before that, the epic storytellers of the Achaemenid Empire. They used to wear these red-cheeked makeup with a bloody smile, dancing around naked, as if they were worshipping the devil. Oh, and what more, even before that, they had these wild giants in ancient Mesopotamia that sang and danced like the yoga of the Rakshasa. Nowadays you all think it's all just this Hollywood this and Hollywood that. Look, I'm not saying this to discourage you over the state of this world of demon-worshipping rulers. Between you and me, Doctor, a cushy member of the elite worshipping the Flayed Clown is way better than one worshipping any other gods or demons. You think that all the elites are worshipping demons? Fuck, isn't that obvious? I'm pretty sure half the global directors here crawled up from hell, and the other half is trying to crawl into hell. I see. Let me tell you a story. You like stories, yes? Please, do so. 200,000 years ago, what become known as modern humans emerged out of Africa and migrated all over the world. It was there. Intelligent life was sparked. I mean, ignoring all the previous intelligent life forms and unfathomable existences looking over Earth. Those don't count. In many ways, our ancestors were different from us, but they were also similar to us in so many ways. They loved, mourned, raged, smiled, and laughed. Of course, there were those smiling giants that lived alongside us, creatures that taught us to express our emotions to extremes. We created a mask for ourselves, a mask that cries, a mask that laughs. Now, why do we laugh? It's one of human biology's biggest mysteries. Many scientists have proposed theories for why we laugh. My favorite is that laughter evolved to become social behavior, signaling safety and bonding within a group, and releasing tension. The one who makes their social group laugh becomes an indispensable part of that circle's morale. Without laughter, the only thing that makes life worth living is love and beauty. You and I are men of science. We're tired of the cliché of love and beauty, no? Is this your way of telling a story? Forgive me, I was just giving you all the context you need first. There's a parable between us clowns that's been told for generations, as to the birth of our god. 200,000 years ago, when the first modern humans appeared, a Homo sapien slowly trudged through the forest. He used to be beloved by his tribe because he played the part of the fool. He let others mock and laugh at him over this illusion of incompetence. Their laughter was like music to his ears, proof of his contribution to the heart of his tribe. One day, a rival tribe appeared and killed each and every one of them, sparing the fool who begged for his life, promising endless entertainment. They laughed at him, and their laughter too was music to his ears. Skinned and dripping in blood, he walked through the frozen tundra, every muscle fiber and exposed nerve subjected to the harsh coldness of the wilderness. When he collapsed, and death became so near, he used his final breath to laugh. He laughed on and on until tears started rolling down his cheeks. Noticing his tears, he started laughing again, day and night. The dying man laughed until an audience of beasts surrounded him, laughing at him, and with him. Of course, The laughter of the hungry beast was like music to him too. Moral of the story? Well, keep on a happy face, and smile even if you're sad. How about that? What's so funny? I forgot to ask you something. I just assumed you… What's your question? Do you believe in clowns? End log. May 6, 2009. 12:59. Notes: your life has meaning. Harmony is a simple truth. Ignorance is weakness. You will die. You are not to be ridiculed or pitied. Pain is real. Rejected is figure. Be not afraid. Dr. Isaac Clarke. Addendum 571.d. Begin log. August 12, 2011. 11:10. I'm tired. I feel sick. I felt sick for a very long time now. Once upon a time, I was a bright-eyed young man, fresh out of college, and I was ready to make a name for myself. That was my purpose. We were all like that. You know what's funny? I had a dream last night about being out naked and cold. Nothing but animals awaiting my death to keep me company. Then, they began to attack me, ripping me apart with their teeth. I felt it. It wasn't a funny dream. The experience itself wasn't funny. Yet in hindsight, I can't help but laugh at the whole thing. We as humans have the incredible ability to completely detach ourselves from the evil inflicted upon us, only later to layer those painful memories with a firmament of irony. I was hit in the face with a baseball 2 years ago. It was awful, yet when I look back at it, I don't feel the pain. It was… funny. People laugh when they bring that story up. Hell, I laugh about it too. If laughing is a social tool for us to appease others, why do we so often laugh at ourselves alone? Maybe it's simply a joke I don't understand. It didn't matter. And if my experience doesn't matter, then nothing I do matters. Everything here is fake. My life is fake. My name is fake. There isn't definite proof that anything in our reality is truly real. Even my face is fake. That's why I took it off. It was difficult, but I managed to. This thing right here, it's plastic. It didn't actually hurt that much. That dream I had about a pack of wild animals actually hurt more. I might wear it again if I go outside. People seem to like it more when I wore it. If nothing is real, what decides that you and I were different? Some imaginary barrier that separates us in meaningless ways? I mean, how dare you? Don't you see that we're one and the same? Or is the illusion of individuality so important to you? There is no such thing as true wisdom. People assume they're wise because they believe they've constructed the perfect theory of how this world works. All this advice, they're just fake stories we tell ourselves. No, I don't find this funny. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's irresponsible. I'm not afraid of death anymore. I don't care if there's an afterlife or not, but either option would be funny, don't you think? I'm a fool. I don't deserve to be on the same pedestal as other people. I am something lower. There are a lot of things missing in me, things that are fundamental to being a human. I don't think I even remember what it means to be human. Maybe I did when I had a face. No, I still have my face. I was wearing this fucking mask this whole time. Now, I am lower than a slave. Lower than an animal, an insect, I'm a clown. If you see me, don't pity the fool, laugh at him. But if your heart can't help but pity him, do so by laughing. It's the only proper response. It hurts, but I'm laughing. Why? Why can't I stop asking questions that have no answers? These cursed ideas in my head that are hurting me so much crawl and slither all over my waking dreams. But no one cares about the clown. No one should. It's funny. Even I find it funny. I'm laughing. I get it now. I know why we laugh alone. End log. August 12th, 2011, 12:03. Notes: it's because we never were alone. After all, clowns are real. Dr. Isaac Clarke.